Permits Committee. As you are aware, we meet in hybrid form. We encourage people who want to testify or applicants to be on Zoom. We have here in the office, in the committee board office, members of the committee. So we have also some members of the committee on Zoom.
You're on mute, Bert. We can't hear you. You're on mute. Nobody could hear you.
Hello?
Oh, wait, it just moves by itself. Can you hear me now?
From the top.
Yes.
Sorry about that, whatever you call it, my little, it just moves by itself, I don't know why.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes my finger is on it and I don't even know it's on it, that's what happens. Anyway, we have an internal goal of when we want to leave. We have 18 items on our agenda tonight. We want to respect the content of everybody's application and have a discussion, but we don't want to have an extensive meeting that goes to 11 o'clock. That we do not want to have. So we're encouraging everyone to be succinct, direct, and clear. Members of the committee, applicants, and members of the public who want to testify.
Okay, just a couple other things. Hi, I'm Frank Holzer, the co-chair. As I think everyone knows, the meeting is also being live streamed on YouTube and will be then up on YouTube forever. So keep that in mind when you make comments and things. And the other is this committee will make a recommendation on these applications to the full board. We'll actually hear them very quickly in this case because we have a summer schedule. So they'll be heard by the full board in a little over 2 weeks on July 24. So anyone who wants to be heard on any of these will have to sign up and be heard for 2 minutes on these items at that meeting. And then the full board makes a recommendation to the State Liquor Authority, or in the case of outdoor dining, the Department of Transportation. But what we do is only recommendations. We have no power to grant or deny liquor license.
Do you want to say something about the new facility? Okay. Okay, turn.
All right, so the agenda is organized by category. We start with changes in method of operation and alterations. So we'll start with number 1, 401 West 52nd.
It's 401 West 52nd Street, the Red Stash. They're asking for hours of operation of 12 to 12:30 a.m. Monday through Wednesday, 12 to 1 a.m. Thursday and Sunday, 12 to 2 Friday and Saturday.
And this is a place that's operational. We had previously approved it for a beer and wine license. So they're essentially asking for an upgrade to a full liquor license. I don't think there are any changes to the method of operation indoors, but they would also like the roadway seating, as their lawyer will explain.
Okay?
Yeah,
As the
thanks.
applicant.
Thanks, everyone. Donald Bernstein on behalf of the applicant, who is Ted Arenas, who's sitting next to you, I hope. Ted has had Red Stash since last year, which was approved by you and the State Liquor Authority with the beer and wine license. As Frank said, this is a class change to full liquor. All of the hours and operational issues are unchanged. There's no change in any of that. Hours, music, occupancy, etc. Ted met with 2 block associations, Steve Belita and his group, HK 4954 Block Alliance, and the West 55th Street Block Association last month. And you have letters from both of them attesting to Ted's good operations and conduct and supporting this application. There is included in the application, the only thing that's new is the street shed seating. We've attached a plan showing that it has the count of tables and seats in the questionnaire is wrong. It is 4 tables with a maximum of 24 seats. The proposed hours of that shed are noon until 10 p.m. weekdays, 11 p.m. weekends, with, of course, no music outside. The State Liquor Authority has just issued a draft advisory regarding DOT space, which I find a little confusing in a few respects. It says that if it's contiguous and it's a new application, then the outdoor seating is to be filed with the application. If it's an existing license where this is being added to it, it has to be filed as an alteration, which can't be filed until the licensee gets the temp permit. I don't know if the SLA would consider this an alteration. It is not an alteration application. It's a class change. I don't know if they would consider it more akin to a new application. So I don't know if their view, based upon this draft advisory, which is not final yet, if they expect this to be filed after the DOT permit, or they expect this to be filed with the application for a class change.
Right. Well, Donald, I think, at least in my view, I don't think we have to get to that, because we have, in the past few months, always asked people to return when they want open dining applications now. However, that's because no one has actually given us a good diagram of their outdoor space before. But you have what to me looks like a very official diagram of the sort you'd sent to DOT. It's got all the measurements, all the obstructions. So as long as we get diagrams like this, I think it's reasonable to consider them. At the same time, we consider the indoor. Yeah.
What I have online, that's
No, that came into it.
oh, okay.
So that is all the measurements. You can keep it if you want. So I don't know if anyone else objects, but I think as long as we have a formal floor plan showing all the measurements of obstructions and to really evaluate what the applicant wants to do, I think we can vote on it here. And then Donald, that'll give you the flexibility to do what you need to do whenever the SLA, whenever you figure out what the SLA considers this.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Yeah. And for those of you who are not familiar with our method of operation, the applicant presents their application, their presentation, then members of the committee are open for comments, questions, and then members of the community. I'll ask any members of the committee, comments, questions? Christine?
The question, I don't know whether it's an old stick, but it says you are going to have a storm enclosure.
I think that was all, yeah. We don't have it, so.
No, I know. So we need to fix,
Yeah.
it's just
Take that out.
of all of the people, right?
Right, because you have to go up some stairs.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
So I'll change that to no.
Right.
Any other questions, comments? Nellie, anybody from the community?
No, there's no one.
And then,
Oh, wait.
Great. Christine, do you have something else to say?
well, did that include now the questionnaire for the outdoor? No.
Yeah, the steps on the Dropbox, they answered all the questions.
Okay, I must have a note.
Oh, no, actually they did, sorry, Donald,
Right.
can you send us by the end of the week, a revised questionnaire that answers page 8 about roadway dining?
Yeah, that's not in there.
And I assume.
Yes, I see that's blank. Yeah, we'll get that to you tomorrow.
Okay, and you're agreeing to the 10 and 11 outdoor hours?
Yes.
Okay, and no, everyone by seated service out there and, okay. I think those, well, Ted, you know the form, is there anything on it that, are you gonna answer any of those in ways that would bother us?
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And, previous stipulations, and I don't know if it still applies, about the use of the shed.
It doesn't apply because they had a shed out there before it was removed before I got in.
Okay, doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Okay, so now there was a motion.
Second, right.
Oh, wait, how about, no, yes, yeah.
No, yeah. All those in favor,
Aye.
opposed, abstained, present not eligible? Okay, very good.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
You
Yeah,
too.
thank you.
Item number 2 on our agenda is 401 West 54th Street, Virago by Chef Yala Corporation. Again, this is a change in the method of operation. They're asking for hours of operation 11 AM to 12 AM, 7 days a week. Applicant here, representative.
Hi, Aurelia Tavares, the representative for the applicant. She was on, but it doesn't let me, I'm sorry, I'm trying to turn on my camera here. She was on, but it only lets one person at a time be on the call. Yeah, for some reason with the link you gave me. So my name's Aurelia Tavares. I'm the representative for Chef Baez for Chef Irago's restaurant at 401 West 54th Street. There's several things happening here. I apologize, everyone. There's a change in class. She used to be wine and beer, and she's changing it to full liquor. It's a Colombian restaurant. They are also doing a corporate change because they're removing the old principal, and Cristina Contreras is staying on. And there's the sidewalk.
Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, has this actually been open? Because
No.
no one in the neighborhood recalls it ever being open. So you
No,
have a
it's-
license, but you haven't operated at all.
No, because it's still under construction. There's some stuff that they're still finishing, and it's taken forever with the permits and their architect. So no, it has not opened. So in the middle of all of that, there were two owners, Carmen Baez and Christine Contreras. Carmen Baez decided to opt out because it was starting to cost a lot of money. And Christine Contreras stayed and just is requesting the corporate change approval with the additional change in class.
Okay, so a couple of technical things before we get into the details. When you filled out the form on page 2, you had one set of numbers, and then on page 4, they seem to be different. So what are the correct number of tables, number of seats, number of bars? Is it what's on page 2 or what's on page 4?
If you give me 1 second, I have the form here that I submitted to you, but it's less than 600 feet. It's a tiny little space. One moment, please.
No, it's just, I think it's just a technical thing, the way the two things get filled out.
10 seats and.
It looks like, I think the 5 tables and 10 seats is the correct.
And what's on the other one?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seats at the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 seats at 5 tables.
Okay, so we're gonna correct page 4 to make that consistent.
I apologize.
Yeah, the other thing is you've circled all kinds of music, live music, DJ, karaoke, which seems odd in a place this small. Can you tell us what your client has in mind?
Well, she's a specialty, they were specialty chefs. They sometimes when people want like a birthday party and they want a little DJ, we're not doing late night or anything, and it's not a party place. But when you don't have the entertainment, you could get a fine from the SLA, whether you have DJ, whether people come in and want to have a karaoke night or something. So we add these amenities to make it enable the applicant, whether they use it or not. Most likely it won't be because this is mostly a restaurant. At least they have it so that we don't have issues.
Yeah. And then before we get to the whole community notice issue, we're not gonna be able to consider the sidewalk cafe tonight because you know, we don't have plans, but if people looked at this photo of the facade, it's at the end of the packet. I think a sidewalk cafe there is gonna be very difficult for at least me to support. First of all, on the right side of your client's premises, I don't think you can even get a table there because you need 5-foot clearance from that doorway. And it doesn't look to me like there's gonna be 5 feet. And then on the left side, the sidewalk cafe table would be like 3 feet from that apartment in the building next door. Which I think would drive those poor people crazy.
Can we withdraw that and revisit it if it's possible? Because she requested it. She wanted something like Giandino 54 across the street.
Yeah, yeah, it's just this particular setup with her storefront being so small, it really impinges on the neighboring
Other
buildings.
spaces.
All right, so again, if there's no promises that you know, she's gonna be able to, you know, that we're gonna be okay with it, I just wanted to let my concerns be known. But yeah, we would ask you to wait anyway, because we don't have a drawing showing all the obstructions and so forth.
Okay.
So there's a bit of history here with the 4951 Block Association. They had asked, I guess, Steve Belita and that association had reached out to the applicant and didn't hear from them until this week or late last week. The Block Association asked them to come to their July meeting, which they're gonna do. But the applicant has been unwilling to agree not to file with the SLA in the interim.
There's no way we could not file with the liquor authority. The Block Association is merely an advisory group, and we'll take all of their requests and objections under consideration, but we can't, this place has been closed for over a year in construction delays. This is costing this poor girl a whole bunch of money, and to put the application through, we have not said we're not meeting with the Block Association. We're merely not doing it. We could do their July meeting, but we're not gonna stop the application because we're meeting with the Block Association.
I was just informing the committee of the, you know, what we've heard from the Block Association. We can see what the reaction.
You're not objecting, okay.
Yeah, no, I was objecting to the sidewalk cafe, but thank you for putting that off.
Okay, are there any comments, questions from committee members?
Question about that.
Wait. Okay.
I mean, I like to hear from the block associations to get feedback regarding what's happening in the neighborhood personally. And frankly, I don't understand, if it's still under construction, why is there a problem rescheduling it till next week? So you can speak to the block association, it's under construction.
You need next one.
You mean
Next month,
rescheduling the community board meeting?
For this
August
meeting,
13th,
for a month.
August meeting.
I don't have a problem rescheduling it. They said that we didn't want to meet with them. That's not true.
No,
Yeah, we didn't say
no, I said that, I said you would agree to meet with them at the end of July. You just did not want to hold off filing with the SLA in the interim. The issue we're having, if they file with the SLA, these 500-foot rule hearings have been coming up very fast. So it's likely we would have to make our position known before the August. If they file this week, it's possible there'll be a 500-foot rule hearing in August, which would be before the full board could vote on it. So that's sort of the time pressure we're under. So the choice is, do we, you know, because they're not waiting, do we decide we want to recommend denial, period, or approve it on the?
Let's wait until everybody talks.
I had a question regarding that filing on July 21st. I think that should be postponed.
On July. What do you?
They have,
Oh, on the date they're gonna.
has the applicant filed? If yes, when does the applicant plan? They want to
Yeah.
file on 7/21/24.
Okay.
That's before our full board meeting. That's before they've met with the block association, and only since they're still under construction, it doesn't really matter if they wait until August. So they can meet with the block association in July, file after we've given an opinion in August.
And we can hear what happens in the block association
Correct.
meeting, which is important to us.
Which I don't
As
think
Tina
will, I
said.
don't think it'll hurt the restaurant or cost them any more money.
Well, I also want to chime in on one thing.
Why don't
It's
we-
really
let's just-
tiny.
So let's just hear from the rest of the committee first and then,
Okay,
the
sorry.
committee, and then circle back to you.
Yeah, because of all the factors that have been, I don't think it's hurting the applicant, and at the same time, for the applicant, it's good to know the neighborhood and to be friendly with the neighbors.
Yeah.
So rather than rushing and say, forget it, immediately you're going to have all the neighbors saying, oh, these are bad people. And I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it'll be better for everyone
Right.
and it won't cost the money, so I don't feel
Yes.
terrible saying, please wait. That's just my opinion.
Nellie, anyone from
We
the,
have Molly, your hand is raised. Do you want to speak about this item number 2?
We moved over.
Can you bring Molly over now, please?
Decline to be promoted.
Where is it?
They declined to be promoted. They declined.
Okay, they declined. Okay, so there's nobody from the community that has a comment on this. So what is your reaction to the consensus here of the committee? That we best to postpone till after you meet with the Block Association, present at our next BLP meeting, August 13th.
I have no problem with it. I guess she's not gonna be able to have a problem with it because this looks like there's really no choice if she wants a positive outcome here. But I will remind you, this is 10 chairs and 9 seats at the bar. It's not like they're gonna run away with the shop. So I just wanted to put it out there that they're not trying to do a discotheque here. It's a tiny little restaurant.
We understand.
So I
that,
just don't
and
understand that, you know.
certainly puts it in perspective, and at the same time, we would have very much appreciate you meeting with the Block Association.
Okay,
Even if you both end up hugging each other, it's still good.
right,
Especially-
it's the point Christine made, if you get off on the bad foot with the community, you know, it's hard to recover. And this has never-
that I understand.
This has never been licensed, so I really think it's ultimately in your client's long-term interest to do it this way.
Well, then,
Okay.
thank you very
And
much.
you'll agree not to file with the SLA until you appear before us in August, right?
I'm appearing before you August 13th, right? That's the next
Okay.
meeting?
Yeah.
If
and
I
you
file
won't-
August 1st, that liquor license is not even gonna be reviewed until August 14th. It takes 2 weeks to scan a liquor license application. So we agree not to, it's not even gonna be looked at. So
You would, you're sort of relying on, past history and procedure, it's only 2 more weeks, I don't think it's gonna disadvantage you, we'd really like you. It's
okay,
just-
all right, we'll
it's just
refrain.
easier.
We will file the week of August 10th.
Okay.
That means it's still in the mail.
No, after our meeting, so you will file after the 13th if you want to,
Yeah,
not before you meet with us again.
right.
Okay,
All right, just take it. So you're okay with that? We
I'm not
appreciate
okay,
it.
I'm not okay with it for this poor owner, but I guess we have to agree because we don't want any issues with the community. Okay,
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving
Thank you.
on. We'll see you
Nellie,
again in
please send me
August.
the link at your earliest convenience for the next meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Thank you. Item
Thank you.
number 3 is again in this category of change in operation. It's 263 West 19th Street. And they're actually taking over some space adjacent to their existing facility. The applicant here. Item number 3, 263 West 19th Street.
Shirley is here.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
A little louder.
Let me see what I can do here. Move this closer.
Oh, there you are, Joe. Okay.
Is this better?
Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about.
Oh, now we're coming.
You're out, Joe. Joe, we can't hear you now.
Okay.
You froze.
Let me see if I can, hold on. How about now?
Now it's good.
Okay, good. The application before you is an alteration application. The existing business, Crown Alley, has been in business at the current address, 263 West 19th, for about 4.5 years now. They're looking to take over the adjacent space. The current space is 35 seats, which includes 18 at the bar. They're looking to add 34 additional dining seats at tables, as well as a service bar with no seats and just a service station for servers. The current store is 800 square feet. They're looking to become 1,600 square feet. They're looking to maintain their method of operation, maintain their hours of operation, maintain their business the way that it exists, with just the addition of the additional space. The hours of operation are 11 to 2, 7 days a week. Background music only. They do currently have DOT roadway seating. However, we're not sure that that's going to continue. So we're not including that in our application before you tonight.
Okay, so you will continue
We
to
provided
use,
162.
so you'll continue to use the temporary
Until the second.
seating until the end of October.
No,
No.
until the second.
Oh, right.
Oh,
No,
the second.
until the date comes, which is the 2nd or the 3rd, where we have to take it down.
Okay, and this application
Does
does not,
not.
you're not applying under the permanent program yet.
Under the
Correct?
permit program, if you apply under the permit program at some point in the future, of course, we'll come back and see you, but we're
Yeah.
not intending.
Okay.
to do
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
In terms of
Anybody-
support,
Go ahead.
I
we
agree.
have
good.
162 signatures of support. Block
That's it.
radius included. We also have 30 letters of support, as well as support from a few different block associations. Amongst the letters and signatures and support, you'll find the direct upstairs neighbor, the direct next door neighbor, and people from across the street. So we did a pretty good job of canvassing the neighborhood. And that's about it. There'll be no other real changes here to the method of operation other than expanding the space. And there will be a cutout in the space to make both spaces contiguous, so they will be together. It's not just operating a separate space under the guise of just one.
Okay. From the committee, I see Inga has your hand up.
Yeah, I know you're not changing much, but the 2 AM on Sundays, and it's a big change. I mean, I think it was 11 on the other application. Let me flip back to the other application.
11 to 2.
It was 11.
Yeah, it was always 11 to 2.
Let's do
11 to 2,
It's
yeah.
just typed differently, so the 2 stuck out this time.
Yeah.
Okay, the people in the building seem to be okay with it. but
Okay,
I don't know about. the
proceed.
So I read the comments and there are a bunch of letters about noise and people, being all over the sidewalk.
Okay, so here's some
You want to
history.
say something?
Yeah, so this was on the agenda last month, and before the meeting, I read the
Right.
comments and looked at the videos, and although they had only applied for roadway seating, they were indeed using the sidewalk, moving the tables around on the sidewalk, people were standing around. I spoke to Joe and said, my view is that he was not gonna make any progress with the committee unless they clean that up. My understanding is that they have done that, and we've even got subsequent letters from a couple of the block associations saying, we're now neutral on this, it does appear that the sidewalk has been clear.
Right.
And that's our understanding as well. There is one local resident, who is very much objecting to this. We also have a long letter from the applicant that talks about a lot of history between this particular resident and the restaurant. But I believe, and we can see from if anyone speaks, I believe that is the only community objection now, and at least for the past month, it looks like the sidewalk situation has been cleared up.
But, I mean, I saw the drawing is that there are open front doors, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Right.
Joe, one of the things we talked about was that they keep them closed when there's amplified sound inside. Are they doing that?
Correct. And just a quick note on that, and thank you for that, Frank. Just so the board's aware, this structure, the roadway structure, had actually been inspected by DOT a number of times. and the tables that were outside, these guys were under the impression that that was allowed because the DOT inspector said it was. As soon as it came to our attention that that's not the type of thing that they should be doing, which we informed them of, as soon as we found out about it, they took them down immediately. You know, we sent timestamp photos to you guys, so you saw that they've been taken down and they have not been operating in that way since.
Christine's question has to do with the doors and windows of the inside establishment and whether you're keeping them closed so that the music doesn't leak out onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And again, that's something we ask everyone to agree to.
I mean, you know, I'm just concerned that as this application has come through and there is a problem, things have been clean. Will they remain clean?
Right.
And will the door be closed and will you not install and spill over the installation into the sidewalk?
Right.
And so, you know, that's a big concern of mine. I don't know how to, you know.
Yeah,
Control.
Understood. So
But
I spoke.
I think this is very suspicious that just when they want to do something else, then they clean up their act.
Well, they cleaned up their act because we.
No, I know.
Plans that we
I
asked.
know, and their lawyers should know that it was not, the way it was set up was wrong. It was
But
wrong.
I didn't see pictures of the way it was set up, Christine. I know it's
No,
wrong.
but you can walk by it.
Well, I don't work there, so I don't, you know.
That's part of the job, you know?
Okay, we have two other committee people, Jesse and English.
All right, so, full disclosure, this is my neighborhood bar, right? This is probably the bar I go to the most.
You were making all.
I was making all the noise.
Okay.
I do think it is, particularly, well-run establishment with excellent drinks at the right price, good environment. Thank you very much, sir. That being said, I want to comment on my also perception of how they operate and if they are good neighbors, because that's really what matters. And I'm here to tell you that I would not frequent a bar and an establishment that I did not think was a good neighbor. I have consistently seen, I sit outside regularly and I am ushered in as soon as, in the walk, I did not know it was true. I did not know that they were not allowed to have the tables on the sidewalk because it is a larger sidewalk there than a typical, no, it's true, it's a wider sidewalk. But, I did not know that they were not allowed, but they consistently shepherd me inside when the time comes when they know they need to close down outside. It's not, in my experience, overly loud establishment. That's one of the reasons why I like it, because you can hear each other, so it's not, they're not blasting music like some of the other places that I've identified on 8th Avenue. Because I do think they're aware they're on a side street. One concern that I do have had though is that sometimes it can get quite crowded inside, and so there ends up being people lining up, crowding out around outside. And to some degree, I'm hoping that if they're expanding the space, that could actually alleviate that problem. And we can ask the applicant, and we use this time to ask the applicant if he can better come up with a better plan to keep people waiting inside and to make sure that there's a vestibule area or somewhere there's enough space now to actually have people stand inside, even if it means losing a few seats at the front. Because that would be, I think, also very beneficial to the neighbors to make sure that there's really no loitering happening outside, which right now, sometimes there is because of how crowded it gets inside.
Inga?
Well, that was my question, that was a question.
Oh, that was a question.
Sorry, it ended with a question because.
Didn't get the question mark.
Question
Joe?
mark.
The response, Joe?
Oh, yeah, we're absolutely happy to do that. That's a large reason why we're doing this, because the space is so limited at 800 square feet, there's not a lot of room to move. So having the adjacent space and doubling the size, and again, we're not putting another bar on the other side, we're doing a service station to create more space so that there is more space for people inside, so we can bring people in from outside and not have the lines outside.
Got it. Great.
Thank you
very much.
Inga?
Yeah, that was my question. I know their block association has been discussing this a lot, the people that live directly there on that part of the street. So if you can keep people inside instead of outside, I think the residents, I mean, it's residential street, so the people, yeah. I'd like to hear from other members of the block.
Okay, Carrie?
Yeah, unless I'm reading their letter wrong, the West 200 Block Association is actually asking us to deny this application, and that is who represents this particular address. So I realize that there are other block associations who have weighed in, 100 and 300. So I'm just a little concerned that the actual block association representing this address has written twice.
I don't know if either of you know anything about this block association. The letter itself is written by the one objecting neighbor that we've heard from throughout.
Oh, I mean, this is my block association.
Oh, so it is. So it's not just, this is a functioning block association.
Oh, yes, this is my block association, Pamela Wolf's block association. This
So
is,
you guys are in support of this letter?
in all honesty, I did not attend a meeting where this came up at the block association, but so I couldn't say that, but it is real and functioning and
Active.
active.
Yeah. Was this letter written before the other letter about everything getting straightened out?
Now, this letter is new. There are several in the package. There's a July 7th letter.
Block Association from the 22nd Street.
Well, can we I'm sorry.
Why don't we ask that?
I was gonna also just ask Carrie if you were at the meeting, though, what you might have.
She wasn't.
I was not at the meeting.
Oh,
What would you have said? Well, I mean, what would if you're.
I mean, I think there's concern. There's concern about people spilling out to the sidewalk. I think there's concern about noise. There's concern about garbage. There's been complaints of garbage in the outdoor on the street. You know, sorry, it's been a very long day. On the, in the shed, and we're just going to make it bigger. So I would think there's concern. I just think we painted it sort of as there's a lot of support, but there's some big concerns as well. And they also do mention that as soon as you contacted them, Frank, to postpone the previous application last month, that's when things got cleaned up. So,
Yeah.
Well, why don't we hear?
They respond.
Why don't we hear from the community? Because at the moment, the only objection we have is from that block association. And I guess what I can't tell is if this was done at a meeting or how, how the block
It was
association.
discussed.
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
Oh,
at
you
their
there?
meeting.
Were you
It was
there?
not at the
Oh.
meeting, but I've talked to people on the Block Association. And someone has their hand raised.
We
from
have
that
three
block.
people,
Yeah, let them talk.
Yeah, we
three
can always
people
ask
on the
that.
committee. Is there anybody else on the committee right now? Because I'd like to get those three people here. Nellie? Can you move them over, please?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Molly?
Is it me? Am I on? Is it me?
Yes,
Yes.
you are, Molly.
Okay, so I'm also on the executive board of this block association. So let's be clear, there are more than a few people. I'm just going to quickly say that I'm on the executive board of 200 West Chelsea Block Association, Molly Harris. I do live on 22nd, but I have been very involved with the communications with the one person. It's more than one person objecting. Let's just be clear. And it is been going on for much more than just a few minutes. I want to say that I want to thank Crown Alley for taking the recent initiative of reducing the sidewalk presence of chairs, tables, etc. The timing is, of course, the timing. We have submitted written testimony on behalf of our president to the community board in light of these changes, and I'm incorporating them with my testimony. There are other members of our block association who agree with our president, Jasenko. I agree with Jasenko because I'm very concerned, even though these changes have been made, that, I would say that if you walk anywhere else and there's more than a few outside presence of restaurants and bars in the area, and you all see where you can walk up and down 8th Avenue without having to walk around. So this notion of being surprised that you couldn't have chairs in front of everyone on the sidewalk is a little bit weird to me. We continue to be concerned that, one of the big issues we have, I have to say, is that I understand that Crown Alley and Jasenko have had some disagreements and it's been a whole thing. And I'm just saying that the problem is that I am new to this. And it would have been amazing for Crown Alley to still reach out to us. They've never reached out to us. They've never asked us to come to the table and have a conversation, because I know the kind of the history with Yusenko and Crown Alley. But that doesn't affect me and the rest of the Block Association. No one's reached out to, as far as I understand, Pamela Wolf, who's obviously you all know her. Some of you know me. I'm pretty reasonable. And it's sort of bummer because now you have 300 and 100 saying, sure, no problem, but they're not the ones who like have their business on 200 as much. So, so we're not asking for a complete denial of this application. We want assurances. I mean, basically the conclusion of our letter was that we want assurances from the board that they don't approve the expansion unless they can get assurances from Crown Alley that the number of outdoor seats are to 4 tables that seat no more than 4 patrons, that the doors and French windows remain closed, and that the traffic between the 2 spaces that involves interfering with resident access is not allowed. I mean, there's this issue of like how everything is going to happen. So we're not saying no automatically. We're saying no unless we can have these assurances. I'm not quite sure how to work forward on this, but I do want to work forward. I obviously we don't want empty storefronts. We understand that. I'm probably going on too long. I'm happy to take any questions.
No, that's very helpful. One thing though, Joe, go back to Joe. Do I understand it that you're taking down all the outdoor dining at the end of July?
That's correct. So the sidewalk is already gone. And the outdoor roadway is going to exist until it can't exist anymore. At the moment, we're talking to our landlord about it, but it doesn't look like that's going to be allowed to continue. So we're not including it in the application because as of right now, we can't do it.
Well, Jeremy, if you don't apply by August 3rd or whatever, you have to take it down.
I'm aware of that, and that's what I'm saying. It's definitely coming down August 3rd, no matter what. The question is whether at any point in the future we come back to talk to you about potentially rebooting.
No, but if you have not applied, it goes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so Molly, I just wanted, so it appears that the outdoor dining issues will be over, the current outdoor dining issues will be over at the end of the month, subject to them reapplying, in which case they would have to go back to this committee, but let's continue to hear from them.
And also,
If that's the case, if the question I have is, so if I understand that the outdoor dining will be gone, that means that they can't even have any chairs at all on the sidewalk, right? That means it's all inclusive. So the question really is.
Gone, it's history.
I understand, until they obviously come back and we start over, but
That's correct.
You would have to get the approval.
That's a very big if. It may never happen. And as far as your other issue with assurances that there's not going to be people going back and forth in front of the residential entrance, that's a very real issue. And it's one that we're happy to stipulate to, because we're creating an opening between the 2 spaces towards the back so that people can't just go back and forth. They're going to be inside the space. It's not going to be shuttling people back and forth out front and creating a disturbance.
So I was just going to end. I mean, you guys will decide, because obviously this is a change in what most of the experiences of the difficulties we've been having. And I understand. And like I said, I want this to work out. I'm just going to sit here. I'm like I said, I'm not here to be like, I live on the block and I'm an intimate, as much as the 100 and 300 block, I'm kind of in that same space, but I'm 3 blocks away. So I don't live it. So I don't want to sit here and start making like, well, this is how, no, I really want this to work out. I'm just going to ask Joe, I'm just going to encourage you, and doesn't have to just be Jasenko. All of us can sit at the table or have a Zoom or have a conversation. Call me, call Pam, and just say, listen, we're having this issue. Can we all kind of have a conversation and not like run to 100 and 300 and say, I want you to support us, because they're not really, it's not fair. And that's kind of where I think it really hurt Jasenko more than just the idea that we haven't gotten along, because I don't know you, and I want this to work.
Jasenko is on, and I think he can probably speak for
Okay,
himself.
I didn't know he was going to be able to be on. Sorry, I didn't know he was going to be on.
So Molly, thanks.
We have 2 more people from the community. We have Benjamin, Brian.
Can I comment quickly, Bert?
Go ahead.
Thanks for that, Molly. I appreciate that. And now that we have
you're in and out.
You're breaking up a lot.
You're in and out.
Sorry. I don't know what the issue is here. here.
We can hear you.
You will hear you now. Go ahead.
Next
And I want to
committee.
make sure we get your contact information directly so that between Barry and Coleman,
Joe, you're still breaking up a lot.
Okay, we'll
we
make
can reach
sure
out to you
that
directly.
you will get the contact information. Benjamin?
Hi, I'm back.
Okay, I just want to say something right now, Benjamin. We are time limited, so if you have
Yep.
something new to add,
Yeah,
great.
I just want to say I live on 19th Street. I live on 19th Street above Crown Alley. To your other committee members, comment, I'm sure when you're down there drinking, it seems like everything's totally fine. When you live upstairs and you can't keep your windows open because people are overserved and shouting and singing, it's a different thing. And when you call Crown Alley and you get a pretty, brush off that there's anything of concern happening, that sets a bad precedent. I'm glad to hear there's some changes. I'm glad to see some of the things that have had happened. But again, it seems like it was when the hammer came down, right? And so it doesn't give a lot of faith going forward. I was also shocked to hear that there are not more complaints, as I actually, when I felt blown off by concerns that I had voiced, contacted Bookbinder and Warren, the property management of this part of the block. And the representative said, oh, well, there have been other complaints. You're certainly not the first. So it's not like, I'm surprised to hear that this has been overwhelming love from the 19th Street folks when, we've been weaving out in and out of like mobs of overserved folks for years now, right? And so I would agree with Molly that coming to the table with the Block Association could go a long way of building some goodwill, and no one wants empty storefronts. Everyone wants good stuff to happen. Just wanted to put in that there have been concerns, and it's not just like one person.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Chisenko.
Hi, so full disclosure, I'm both a neighbor and the president of 200 Block West 200 Block Association, which encompasses 4 blocks, and it's one of the largest block associations in Chelsea. So, yes, I have a conflict of interest, and I did not act on my own. I actually sent letters to the entire membership saying what my position is, but asked for input. And I was open to hearing that other people might be in support and, loving this, because there seem to be a lot of people who really love this place. However, that came at the expense of the neighbors. Basically, a happy hour that starts at 4 p.m. and ends at 11 a.m., where there are 50 people, the capacity of the place is 35 indoors and 50 outside. It could have been done better. We asked for small things like put up the signs, be respectful of the neighbors, don't seat more than 4. There are instances of seating 12 to 16 people at one table, and over serving. There was, people would break into singing, literally, and that happened with quite a frequency. So, this is not love all around. I met the owner in the beginning. He sounded very reasonable. He reached out to me if there are problems. The first time I reached out, I was accused of being too aggressive because I said that it's too loud, it's too crazy. And it was actually when they were operating until midnight, and there was a spillover of, intoxicated patrons after midnight still screaming. And at that point, he broke off the entire conversation with me. Yes, I reached out to him in the capacity of the president. If he had a problem, if he said, look, you have a conflict of interest, I would have happily handed it over to someone else. He never bothered to respond to me and to say, okay, I don't want to deal with you. Put me in touch with someone else from the Block Association. We never heard from him. Then, yes, it was cleaned up, but all the tables, there were 50 of them, or 50 chairs, bar stools, basically. They were all put inside of they are still there. I mean, maybe they were reduced from 50 to 35. or something like that. So that's my first issue. Yes, so if this shack goes away and if they are going to be strictly indoor operation, that's fine. But there's still the issue of the fact that the two places are not adjacent. There are two very, very narrow, very, very long places. So they're adjacent at the very back. You have to walk 50 yards from the front of the one place to the front of the other. So if they start using the sidewalk and leaving the doors open to go from one place to the other, there is actually an entrance to the building in between. So that's again going to interfere with the traffic, the residential, the pedestrian area.
I think they've already committed not to permit people to use the sidewalk to go from one place to the other.
I understand they committed to a lot of things, but there's very little trust because there was very little.
Trust is something that has to be developed, and also one thing that we're going to stipulate is there going to be ongoing communication between the 200 Block Association and the applicant.
So that's exactly what we asked to do, for this to be denied unless we get written stipulations about how all of this is to be carried out. That sidewalks and residential areas are not going to be misused as they have been for 4 years.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else from the community now?
No, there's no one else.
Okay, I'm just very aware of the time. It's 20 after 7. We've only gone through 3 items on the agenda. It's not meeting our goals. Okay. Do we hear some kind of stipulations, Frank?
I don't know, I misunderstood what this block association was. I'm a little troubled that they just didn't try to talk. I mean, even if there is bad blood between this gentleman and the proprietor, it's evidently a big existing block association, and they could have talked to somebody else.
We usually we give the applicant just 30 seconds because normally we do just 30 seconds to respond to what.
Sure.
And then we can just start like,
Okay.
short though, Joseph.
Yeah, well, Joe, that's the big question in my mind now, why?
Yeah, and Frank, I actually talked to you about this in advance of the last meeting and let you know that we were reaching out to all the block associations except for this one because of the personal issue that they had, which has been documented. And look, in hindsight, I'm happy to acknowledge that we could have sent a letter and said we'd like a different point of contact and we'd like to talk to someone else at the block association, maybe instead of this individual that has the conflict of interest. But the reality is everything that was brought up by the block association, everyone who spoke in opposition, we're happy to stipulate to. That's how we plan to operate. So I think we are on the same page, and I'm happy to also stipulate that we'll start to develop a relationship with the block association, and we can kick that off with a right point of contact and make sure we stay on the same page with everybody.
All right, Joseph, I assume you heard a conversation with the previous applicant that it's very critical to have an ongoing relationship with the block association. You could describe this member of the block association, that member, and however way you want to describe it, but it's the block association. And it's important that we have ongoing communication.
I understand.
Christine?
I want to float some stipulations. So the first one would be that they meet once a month with the block association. If the block association has a meeting once a month, they should be going to those block association every time, and it should be the owner, not the owner and the manager. Okay, and they should have the phone number of the block association, so that the block association should have the phone number, so the people can go through the block association rather than having a direct, confrontational thing. I mean, they should definitely stipulate that they're going to get rid of the outdoor seating, because right now he said, maybe not, we don't know, pop up, it would be good to stipulate no more outdoor seating on the roadway or the other one. And then they need to stipulate that they are not going to have people, that the two front doors are going to be closed and people are going in one side to go to the other side,
use
right?
the internal
Right.
connection in the back.
And then that last one is probably controversial, but you know, 2 AM, considering all the mess that has happened, well, I should say something else. I'm concerned that the price point they have is going to continue to attract more and more people than they can accommodate. And so the issue here is that it's volume. Right? And its volume means bigger, means more. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's just not going to resolve, you know, so one suggestion is they should increase their price point. Sorry, Jess.
What are you doing?
And then second, or I think they should reduce their hours from the 2 AM for the non-weekend.
So we have to.
Yeah.
For the non-weekend, they
It's a
should.
residential street.
I agree.
It's gonna be on-
So instead of being, you know, I would change it for the weekend, but for the other, you know, either midnight or 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
but you know, reduce the hours somehow. So if there is noise, people at least during those days can sleep and they are not, you know, concerned.
Mhm,
I would
maybe
also-
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Add the stipulation, I'm really surprised that you guys, there was pushback or anything on posting a be a good neighbor sign outside, that's easy enough to do, and you know, it's on side streets, that's good to see, so.
It's usually-
Let's add that. as a
No, there's
stipulation.
no pushback about the signs, by the way. I was gonna add that stipulation because there's never been pushback on that side.
Thank you,
We're happy to
Joe.
do it.
So these are my
Yeah.
suggestions.
Joe, I have a question. I mean, if you had the second space, Christine seemed to think you'd only enter through one space. Are there gonna be doors at both spaces?
We need the egress from the other door, but I'm happy to stipulate that we won't have people going from one door to the other door.
How are you going to control
Can it
that
be-
if you
can
have
it
two
be-
doors?
One is an emergency.
You
exit.
control it with a member of your staff maintaining the frontage.
Wait, sorry, Joe, go ahead. What were you saying?
You control it with a member of your staff maintaining the frontage, the same person that's gonna make sure there aren't people congregating outside where there shouldn't be.
Doesn't work. Why isn't
Why can't it
your,
be an exit?
one door being more of an emergency door? So you have to have the door, we understand, but people do not enter through that, they enter on the other side.
Or can you just enter through one and exit through the other, is
Yeah.
that so bad?
That'll just cause a circle.
But I mean, at least you
Yeah.
shouldn't be entering through two doors, you should be entering through
Right,
one.
one should be an emergency exit, pretty much.
Right.
Okay, so
But.
Sorry, I just wanna, and again, I don't wanna get stuck in this, but. The previous applicant came on board and he said, you need to have a conversation with
Yeah.
the block association, right? And we said, well, until that happens, we don't want to proceed.
Right.
Exactly.
Why are we doing it here? Why are we having any conversation?
That's what
And again, I recognize in this particular case, there are some complexities,
Mhm.
but that letter has other names on it. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why we even have
Big
this.
active block
That's a very good
association.
one.
So let's be consistent, perhaps, and try to follow what we just did. What?
Well, the difference being that we have numerous letters of support also from neighbors
And
as
this
well,
is an
and an established,
And you don't-
established place, there is a difference.
Okay,
That was brand new versus
That
somewhere
is
else.
helpful to have that context
Yeah.
Yeah.
of, okay, this.
they were under construction.
Okay, again, I just think it's worthwhile to pause and just reflect on that
Articulated, right.
Yeah.
for consistency's sake,
Yeah.
okay? So I appreciate that clarification. I think that's reasonable. It's still a problem.
It's still a problem.
But they stipulate they're gonna talk.
Yeah.
It would be good, Joe, hearing the conversation from the committee members. If you had some reach out and contact with the block association before we go to full board, which is in 2.5 weeks from now.
That's
Is that
easy. Happy to do that.
Because the full board is July 24th. So whatever we include in our letter here has to go to the full board for approval. So by that time, if you have already met with block association and initiated what will be an ongoing series of meetings, we would very much appreciate hearing about what had happened, so we know that. I think we'll do.
Happy to agree to do that.
Okay, Joe, did you agree that the door in the new space will only be an emergency exit?
I don't know if I can agree to that. I know it needs to be an egress. I don't know if an emergency egress is what's needed.
Yeah.
Well, how about, will you stipulate that if permitted by law, you'll only use it for an emergency exit?
Does that work for you?
If permitted by law.
If permitted by, yeah, then that's fine.
Okay, what's the address of that space?
They're both the same address. It's both 263 West 19th Street.
Okay, so what do you call it? The
West.
Is it the west part of it?
East,
East part? What's the new space?
east or what?
I don't know.
East, yeah.
East or west?
Or west?
The east side.
East.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's-
east.
The new space is the east.
So
of
the
the
east door will remain closed.
The east door.
It's permitted by
But
law.
not be used by, as an entrance.
We,
And Frank, did they agree to the hours? That's the biggest change that you
Yeah.
can, and they might not.
Yeah,
what is
Yeah,
your
I mean,
reaction?
we can throw back an hour Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. More than that would be hard for us to do.
So you're talking 1 o'clock during the week, 2 AM on Friday and Saturday.
no, he said Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Remember, this is an 800 square foot place becoming a 1,600 square foot place, not 2,500 becoming 5,000. It's still a very small space.
It's a size.
We don't have, it's an average.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fine, straight.
It's average, 1,600 is average.
I'm guessing the only reason you got 2 AM is because of how small that initial space was. That's really tough. And that's us really trying to be consistent with how we treat other side street establishments. 2 AM is really,
It's a side street, completely residential.
like, I think maybe
What's that?
2 AM just on Friday and Saturday, if we did that.
Thursday,
and then-
Friday, Saturday, like we used to.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 AM, the rest of the week, 1 AM.
That work?
Always at 2 AM. I don't know why we have to
Yeah.
give up hours.
Yeah, the conversation here is that the space had 2 AM previously and we continued
Yes.
to.
And Joe, I know we're throwing a lot at you. If you wanna postpone another month and meet with the Block Association and
Really?
sort of sort all this out, you can. But it seems like there's strong support here for
They can come
the
up.
1 AM one.
Right.
But again, if you talk to this Block Association and think about it more, maybe there's something, you can get consensus on that is better than we'd be willing to vote on at the moment, but that's up to you. But I think, just looking around the room, I think everyone here wants the
Yeah.
1 AM
And by the
Sunday,
way,
Wednesday,
yes, Elaine asked us to look at everything one by one.
yeah.
So just because one operator got 2 AM, doesn't mean the next one does, right?
Sure, but they're also gonna look at the 4.5 year history, good track record at 2 AM, and they'll
What do
consider.
you mean, good track record? We just talked about it.
I think our opposition.
Yeah.
All right.
Our position is clear.
Okay, guys, we have to move on. Joe, do you want us to, there are 3 options here. You can postpone a month and not file. You can agree to the 1 AM or we can vote on the 2 AM, which I think will lead to a denial.
Yeah.
And if you want to take a few minutes, we can hear another couple and come back to you in a few minutes. You
Yeah,
wanna
I'll come
talk?
back, I'll come back in a couple of minutes, thank you.
Okay. We're now moving into the second category on our agenda. New wine, beer, and cider license applications, item number 4 on the agenda, 104 8th Avenue, Dino Romano Incorporated.
Good evening, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Great. My name's Michael Paludas. I'm here this evening on behalf of Dino Ramen Inc., which will trade as Ramen Nishida Chelsea. I'm joined this evening by the applicant's owner and operator, Ki-Hong Kim, who is usually addressed as Ki. This is an application for a beer and wine only license for a ramen shop at 104 8th Avenue. Ki is already operating 2 other Asian concepts. The first is Kosaka, which is a Michelin star restaurant at 220 West 13th Street. He's been there since 2015. The second is Maki Kosaka at 55 West 19th Street, where he has operated since 2017. This location was previously licensed for full liquor by Beau Cafe. So this is actually a downgrade in license class. The business has no outdoor space. It will close no later than 11 p.m. daily. There will be no live music, no DJ, no security personnel. Again, this is a bona fide restaurant keeping restaurant hours.
Michael, I just have one question about your form on page 5, where we ask that you close doors and windows whenever there's ample.
So that's, I was going to note, I have 2 changes, Frank, and that's one of them. That's one of them. Is that all you want to hear me on? And I should be quiet because you want to move on? Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, there are windows that can be opened, and the applicant will agree to close them at whatever your standard closing time is for those windows.
But also when there's any amplified sound inside, that's what confused me, because you said music will be background only. But if you can hear the music on the sidewalk, the doors and windows have to be closed.
Okay, Key, do you understand that? They don't want to hear any, if there's amplified music being played inside, they want the windows closed. You're muted, Key.
He's up there, he's muted, he's still muted.
No, he knows, he's working on it.
He's looking at it, yeah. You're still muted?
Key, you're still muted. You've got to unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Now we can hear you.
Now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, yeah. I do have a background music, and the existing, they have that the window that you could push it. So we figure on like in autumn when it's really nice out, we figure we'll open the door to nice breeze. But if the music bleed out, then of course, we want to open it because it's
Okay.
people
So
will come.
your choice is to turn off the music or keep the window closed. Okay?
Wow.
Well, to
Even though, let's say, because it's also.
He thinks forever.
No. I'm saying because the background music is very quiet, and if it doesn't bleed out, I still have to shut it off. That's one.
Yes.
Close the window.
Or close the window.
windows. You don't have to shut the music off, you close the windows.
But anyway, when it's hot, you're going to want to have the air conditioning,
Yes,
so.
of course. Yes. Yeah.
So it doesn't make a big difference.
We asked this.
Or you guys telling me not to use the window. That's very simple, right? That's
Not when there's amplified music being played, Keith. That's what they're saying.
It is amplified music because it is with the, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Michael, I'm gonna cross out that.
That's fine.
They wrote it, music will be background only, just so it's
Okay.
clear.
Was there second something else, Michael, that you said you wanted to change? You said you had 2 items you wanted to change?
Sorry, yeah, the other item is there's a slight adjustment to the seating. He's reduced the number of seats at the bar and added a couple of tables.
Okay.
So there will be 17 tables, 34 seats at those tables, and 12 seats at the bar.
Okay.
And that's it. Those were the 2 notes on the questionnaire.
Okay. Any comments, questions from members of the committee?
No.
Nellie, from anybody in the community?
There's no one.
Okay, so Michael, I changed the numbers. I added a stip just to be clear that this doesn't extend any outdoor space. And we'll cross out that thing about background music on page 5.
Great.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Present not eligible, abstaining, okay. Thank you.
Thank you all for your time. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Item number 5, 315 West 48th Street.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Hung. I'm here representing Patrick Lima. He's here on the line, present here. So basically, this is only a beer and wine license application, a brand new. Patrick Lima is the current owner for 3 or more locations that is nearby. I'm sure you know the name of the restaurant called Sombrero. It's located at West 48th Street, right on the same avenue we're located for the brand new restaurant. And we also have Blue Maiz, has been recently opened for over a year ago. And also Patron Mexican Grill at Night Avenue 43rd Street. So the 315 West 48th Street, we don't currently have a DBA set up yet, but tentatively it's gonna be called Mamma Mia. So it's gonna be a brand new Italian restaurant. So we're gonna keep the existing establishment. It used to be an Italian restaurant. We wanna continue with the same nature that was previously closed like over a few years ago. So this location used to have a full liquor license before, but we wanted to operate only a beer and wine. And then we're proposing to have only a background music and live music only for Thursday through Saturday only during the week. But it's gonna be only played around after 4 p.m., but not until 11 p.m. in those days. So initially on the application, we proposed to close until 12 midnight from Monday to Tuesdays and 2 a.m. for the rest of the week. I understand the concerns when I reached out to the block associations by email. Like one person, she reached out to me and she spoke to me of her concern. I understand that the restaurant is on the more of the residential side of the street, and we would like to respect that. So I would like just to bring it to the table and hear me out if we could just make an adjustment, at least to propose 1 a.m. closing, only Friday and Saturdays. The reason why this is something I would like to mention to Kathleen Treat, one of the members of the Block Association. This is not like a discotheque. This is a more family-oriented restaurant. This is very, very casual. And also we can offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And also the allowed occupancy for the entire restaurant is going to be only 74% maximum. We only have 11 tables indoor with 38 seats. We propose to have 6 tables by the open front yard that we have within the building property. It's going to be seating 12 seats. We don't have any backyard at all. We're not allowed to have any seating on the backyard due to legal issues. And we have 2 common restrooms available, and in the full kitchen is going to be available all day. And also, I would like to also mention regarding the 1 a.m. issue is because the last call we would like to mention to our customer, it has to be 1 hour before closing the bar. So at least to give them some time by 12 midnight to stop the alcohol service and no more drinking until 1 a.m. Only of those days, Friday and Saturday. And that's pretty much it for the presentation. I could bring the floor to Patrick Lima if you'd like to say something about his experience and so on his restaurants.
Okay, I'm actually, well, let's see if they're here, there are questions. I just want to ask you about closing hours. Did you say you were changing the 2 a.m. on a couple of days?
Yeah, only 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Just because after I reached out to one of the members of the Block Association, Mrs. Kathleen Treat, she did mention that we are located on the side street by the residential area. So we would like to respect that and also respect the neighbors, not to be late. And I did mention that.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that doesn't work. What about
So
the other?
Wednesday and Thursday, what time?
No, so Wednesday,
No, it's only-
Thursday,
Midnight.
midnight, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yes.
1 a.m. Friday, Saturday,
And midnight on Sunday.
and midnight on Sunday, is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
only
you.
Friday, Saturday, 1 a.m. and the rest of the week, 12 midnight. Just to
We
make it easy.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
I appreciate that.
And
Yeah.
they do have outdoor tables, but they're within the property.
What are the hours?
Yeah, and they agree to our usual hours,
10 and
10 and
11?
11, they've been there, one block.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Mont Blanc.
Yeah, this was one block.
Okay, any additional questions, comments?
She has live music check, but she said only background.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask about that too.
Live background.
So are you gonna have live music?
Live music only Thursday through Saturday from 4 p.m. until 11 p.m.
Okay, so we can say all live music will end by 11?
Yes.
Okay,
No problem.
Any additional comments, questions from the community now?
There's no one.
Okay. Someone?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. The hours are now closing at midnight, Sunday to Wednesday, Sunday to Thursday, 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. And there'll be an additional stip that any live music will end by 9.
And you adjusted the kitchen?
The what?
The kitchen,
Yeah, I adjusted them down. Sorry.
everything,
Yeah, everything's now
cool,
Okay.
midnight or 1 a.m.
Do I hear a motion?
motion.
And a second? All those in favor?
Yes.
Terry, Mike?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
All those opposed?
Good use.
Abstaining, present not eligible. Okay, thank you.
Anyways,
Thank
good seeing
you.
everybody. It's good to see everybody. Thank you
Yeah,
very
good
much.
luck.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
So, item number 6, 366 West 30th Street, 13 Water LLC.
Hi.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. So my name is Linda. I'm representing 13 Water West at 366 West 30th Street. I want to first begin, Nellie, I'm so sorry for spamming your email. I finally got the Zoom meeting link, so I'm here now.
Okay, Linda, your name's not on the phone, on the form. Could you
Yes.
just tell us what it is again?
Okay, so I am the other owner. I actually did put on, I double checked the email I sent. I did put my name as the attendee.
Okay.
I don't know why there was a confusion, but I am the attendee for this.
No, that's fine, but what's your, oh yeah, Linda, I see you on the form there. Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah, of course. I do, so we are an omakase restaurant with 18 seats. There's one main bar and then there's a waiting area bar. Additionally, I do want to, we have another location in East Village, which is also an omakase concept. So we do a prefix menu of a limited time seating of 60 to 75 minutes per person. We're requesting a beer and wine license. And our hours of operation will be 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then I do want to make a note. I'm noticing that on the application page, it says there's an outside service bar. That is a mistake. There is no outside service bar. We will not be having any use of the outside, as there is a huge condenser unit on our backyard.
So there's no outdoor space on this application.
No, there is, yes, exactly. There is no outdoor space.
Okay, and I was looking at Google Maps photos. You're sort of a few steps below street level.
Mm-hmm.
And is that where this restaurant will be?
That's where
You
this
go down?
restaurant.
Right, and then what's above you? Is that commercial space?
Yes, it's above us. It's, I believe it's, yes, it's an office space. It's an architect.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I have. Anybody from
No,
the,
it's between
It's,
8 and 9.
yeah, I have a couple, so I'm actually a resident on 30th Street, so, I had a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. The cross street is wrong. You have it between 9th and 10th. It's between 8th and 9th.
I am so, yes, let me Google as we speak.
And then also it says, you are in the middle of a residential block, or corner of a residential block. And you said, no, you will not put any signs for quiet neighbors. I know it's a, you know, you gotta go down into the space and stuff like that, but I would still appreciate it.
where is that?
It's, on the page, what is it, 8, 7, somewhere around there.
But 8 and 7 are where the.
6, somewhere around there.
Those are the outdoor dining things. I think that's why they have.
The rooftop, okay, and then, my other thing was on you said that it's gonna be an hourly, like they're slotted, so is it all reservations that can go in? Or,
We don't reject walk-ins, but because it is slotted and because I think just the nature of our it's a prefix menu, we are essentially 99% reservation only restaurants. Of course, we don't discriminate against walk-ins.
Right. And I guess my other thing was, you only had one sign, like I said, I'm a resident of the block. I had a couple of the residents, my neighbors being like, oh, did you know there's a restaurant going down? And not until I walked down the stairs and saw it, that it's there. It just, I kind of wish you would you posted it around the neighborhood a little bit more. You have a large residential building right directly next to you. And then one right across the street as well, that's at least 200 residents that were contacted, so I'm just a
Do you
little.
want them to have, do some outreach before full board, or?
I mean, it's a sucky place, I mean, it's not really it's not a neighborhood restaurant or anything, it's more of like, you're gonna come here, make a reservation, and just feel bad for the neighbors. That they weren't really told about this, we don't have a block association or anything.
Same thing, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but they put no to putting a cell phone number on.
Yeah.
I did have, I think because my partner and I were filling it, but we have no issue with putting a cell phone number there. If that is an issue, we have no problems with that. In terms of going back on in terms of informing the neighborhood, I think it's part of how we, it's just kind of how we advertise our restaurants. We don't advertise it until we know an opening. We don't have a website, an Instagram page until we're closer to opening.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about you telling people around your neighbors that this meeting was happening today. So if they had any questions or concerns, they could have attended the meeting or emailed us. I think when Nellie sent you the fall forms to fill out, she asked you to reach out to a bunch of block associations.
We did reach out to them.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we sent that email out.
Okay, so I think the issue is everyone found out about it, but there was no one nearby.
Yeah.
Should we ask them to post about the full board in the buildings, or?
Yes. Yeah, I'd say yes.
Okay, do you know, so I guess there are a couple big, could you put up signs that this is gonna be, appearing before the full board?
July 24th.
Yeah, and Nellie will give you the signs. And if you could put them up more prominently, maybe on like some lamp posts or something, not just the front of your business. Would you be willing to do that?
Of course. I didn't think this would be, I've never had an issue with posting in front of the restaurant, but if you would like us to post it all throughout the streets, I don't think we have an issue with that at all. I wasn't aware that was required.
The only reason the front wasn't as good is because it's a few steps down from the street. So unless you're really looking for it, you wouldn't necessarily notice it just walking by.
I see.
Okay, so you'll just follow up with the board office tomorrow to get some signs about the full board and put those up. That would be great.
Absolutely. We have posters of our restaurant opening in the entire block vicinity.
Okay, Tina, Christina.
Question, you say the kitchen exhaust system extend to the roof, and you said not applicable. Can you explain?
It's because we are a raw fish only restaurant, which means we do not cook.
Thank you.
Anybody from the community knowledge?
There are some.
No.
No, there's no one.
Okay.
Wait.
No, Christine,
I'm sorry.
it's Joe and it's Linda.
Got it.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
have a motion?
Motion to approve.
There is a little one in the middle. Hello, Chen.
That's Linda, right there.
That's, that's her partner, but it says one other, the other is Joe.
So there's Joe.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
Aye.
Wait, Joe, you oppose or? Mike?
Aye.
That's an aye, yes. Okay.
That's approved.
Okay, president eligible, I think it passes.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
Now we're going back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Bert. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, what we'd like to do is we'd like to lay over to next month. We'd like to take this opportunity to meet with the Block Association. And if the board would help us to connect to some other folks that are part of that Block Association, including Molly, who spoke earlier, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, and you'll agree not to file with the SLA until you come back?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right, so, Joe, Nellie's here, she's listening right now, but if you could follow up with her, tomorrow, just so this doesn't fall through the cracks and ask her for the contact info, and that'll be great.
Thank you, Joe. We'll see you then, August 13th.
No problem. Thanks, guys. And one more thing before I sign off.
Yeah.
I have another client who's in the room as an attendee. They couldn't get on as a panelist later for number 14, so please just keep an eye out over there for them.
Okay. What is their names? We'll move them over now.
Oh, they're promoted now? Okay, they've been promoted now. Forget it.
Okay.
Does Nellie know, who they are?
Yeah, they're over, so we're good.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Item number 7, 577A West Third Street, Cafe by the Girls.
I like that.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, everyone?
Hi. Go ahead, Natalia.
My name is Natalia Rico. I am the owner of Cafe by the Girls. We are a small cafe. We were just requesting a wine and beer license. We just keep everything as it is. We will keep closing at 6 p.m. as we have been done so far. The reason we are asking for the license is because sometimes on the weekends, and especially when it's so hot, people ask if we sell beer. That's all.
No.
Okay.
Any questions, comments from the members?
Yeah, one question, you didn't circle any music on your form, are you gonna have,
We don't want to.
This gentleman here. Oh, you would. It was actually good that was over there.
yeah, you didn't circle any music on the form, are you gonna have background music or any kind?
Oh, no. We don't have like music, nothing like that. It's
Do you have
just
background
because
music? Do you have background music?
if I have a background, what? I'm sorry, I can hear you well.
Do you have background music?
Oh, no, I don't.
No music at all, okay.
Okay, I see Mike, do you have a comment, question?
Yeah, I was just gonna suggest, maybe you'd want to expand your hours to maybe 10 o'clock or so, just for the future. So you don't have to come back here again.
Oh, I mean, I'm okay with that. Maybe like until 8 p.m. because my lease doesn't allow me to open later than 8 p.m. Actually, until later than 9 p.m. So that would be great. I'm okay with that. I mean, but it will be only on the weekends, like maybe Thursday to Saturday. That's it.
Okay, what time would you like?
9 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, any other comments, questions, committee members?
We got the numbers.
Okay, anybody in the community?
What's the address? We need the address for the form. You just said 23rd.
537.
Okay,
We're all, yeah.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
We're only not, like, we're still nowhere, guys.
We're still nowhere.
We can't be this.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
President not eligible? Okay, thank you. Item number 8, 555 West 38th Street. Cafe 555 LLC.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Assam Barouj. This is my business partner, Iris Melody. We have a very tiny cafe at 555 West 38th Street. Our main clients are the residents of the new building called Lira. We had many requests from our customers to add the wine and beer, and it's something I've done in the past in my other places. We are planning just simply to serve a couple of wines, couple of reds, couple of things. We will never be open late hours. We will have a couple of tables outside. There will be no music outside due to the weather condition on that 11th Avenue, that it's windy all the time. Our doors will be shut at all times, and the music will be a cafe music. It will never be loud. We're catering to the same building itself, so.
Okay, so is your outdoor space on private property or?
It's
yeah,
it's the outdoor space. It's the sidewalk. We don't have a backyard.
Okay. So as you might have heard, we can't vote on the outdoor space until we have a real floor plan that you submit to the DA Department of Transportation and they send it to us. Your office.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Is that all right? So in other words,
yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to eliminate the outdoor space from this, and you then have to do a whole separate application with the Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
They send it to us, and then we'll have you come back to talk to us about the sidewalk.
Yeah. So for now, yeah, the sidewalk. I'm not sure. Originally, I remember when we did the lease. I believe we requested it from the landlord. I think that is part of the landlord property that he allowed us, but I'm not sure. But we'll revisit this. But right now, I don't have anything outside either way. So, but it's just we want the small space inside to be able to cater to that. Besides that corner, to be honest, outside, it's most of the time it's super windy. You can't really put anything or enjoy anything standing in there.
Although you sent us a photo, it looks like you have tables and chairs on the side.
It doesn't look windy. It's a Photoshop.
Is that right? Did you see on your application?
Yeah. These tables, I put them in the very beginning when we opened this place, but the wind was too strong. It broke all these tables. We never put them back.
Okay, so going forward, no outdoor tables until you apply for them, okay?
Absolutely.
And the wind.
And fix the light. You can lock them down.
Sometimes it's the dog, but no.
Okay, any other additional comments, questions?
I have a question.
No.
Yes. A storm enclosure, you say you're going to use a storm enclosure, you know that it's limited to 18 inches.
What is it?
Yes.
Sorry, I did not understand your question. I can't hear you well.
Okay, you said in your answers, will applicants use a storm enclosure? And you say during the winter.
Oh, we have a vestibule.
Right. And the
we have a vestibule over the door, but only in the winter, because the wind is so strong, it keeps our door open.
And the law says that the vestibule cannot be more than 18 inches deep. So if you install the storm enclosure again, you need to cut it down by half.
Okay.
So it can only stick out 18 inches from the house.
Okay.
And that's better for the wind.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, any additional comments, questions? Do I hear a motion?
What do we ask for the public?
All right, motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed, President eligible.
All right.
Abstain.
According to page 3.
All right.
Item number 9 has been postponed.
Postponed.
So we're moving on to item
Thank
10.
you.
Which is, thank
Thank
you. Good luck. Item 10 is now the first item in the third category of full new liquor, wine, beer, and cider licenses. Okay, item 10, 517 West 34th Street dash 509 West 34th Street. Applicant here?
So that's
Yes.
next. to Hudson
Hey,
Hill.
hello.
Yes.
Before we get started, I have two people with me who need to be promoted. They're Amir Sperling and Tyler McCain. That's Amir Sperling and Tyler McCain. And while they're being promoted, I will get started if that's all right with you, Bert.
Go right ahead.
Okay, hi everybody. Max Bookman, Pizetsky and Bookman. It's nice to see all of you again. It's been a few months since I've been here. I hope everyone is doing well. With me is Amir Sperling and Tyler McCain from Tishman. This application is the third application in the new Spiral building, the Tishman Spiral building located adjacent to Hudson Yards. We have given your community board a roadmap in previous appearances and meetings of our liquor license plan for this building. When we first met, we told you that there'd be 4. So here we are at the third. The first was a full liquor license for the amenity floor on the 66th floor of this new building, which you approved. The second was for the Llamas Peruvian Japanese restaurant on 34th and 10th, which you approved a year ago. And so now this is the third. This is next door. So we're on the ground level, just like the Llamas restaurant. We're next door to the Llamas restaurant. So we're still on 34th Street, but instead of being on the 10th Avenue corner, we're now on the other corner, which is Hudson Boulevard. And this is going to be a Gabriel Cruther restaurant. He is the Michelin star chef who has a restaurant on 42nd Street. He's going to be opening an elevated French restaurant serving lunch and dinner. Same hours of operation that we proposed and that you approved for the Llamas restaurant, which is midnight, Sunday to Thursday, 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. It's a 38-table restaurant, 131 seats, no roadway dining. There is, just like the Llamas restaurant, there is going to be a narrow sidewalk cafe, which we have floor plans for, which are what we're submitting to DOT. They have the appropriate measurements. And we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, I have a couple questions about the sidewalk cafe. Max, I remember vaguely some sort of dispute about whether there could be sidewalk cafes here or something. I think
yeah.
I don't know whether it depended on the side of the street or something. Did we, I gather we concluded sidewalk cafes are allowed?
Yeah, we had a confluence of cases, Frank, a year ago, where on one side of the street it was related and they had one set of zoning treatment, and on the other, and you required a memo from their zoning attorney. And on the other side of the street was Tishman with a different, more favorable zoning treatment. And so this is Tishman's side of the street. And for the Llamas restaurant, that was the easy one. And we explained the zoning treatment then, and I could explain it to you again now. But it did meet your satisfaction then, and it's the same thing for this restaurant next door.
But so are you gonna come back when we get the stuff from the DOT? For the
This side of the street is subject to DOT's regulation, so we will be filing a sidewalk cafe license, and we will be coming back.
We're not voting on it.
So as we've done in the past, we'll eliminate it from this application and you'll come back when we get.
If I could.
We have a plan.
We do?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I could just be heard on that, because it has been a few months.
Oh, okay.
It has been a few months since I've appeared before you, and I've been listening carefully, and I saw Mr. Bernstein's case very first, and, we have a plan, and it's got the right.
We got it.
Christine, if you're okay, I mean, there were no.
No, they have some measurements. They have, what is the measurement between the two plantings?
So it's a, so
Is
what we're
this 8
doing,
foot or 5 foot?
it's a 5-foot sidewalk cafe, which leaves another 5 feet between that middle tree pit, and then there's an additional 8 feet.
8, right. So they have essentially 13 feet.
That's right.
Oh, wait, that's not what I'm seeing in this. I see the 5-foot cap and
And then they have,
10 feet.
and then they have 8 foot between the two.
Oh, the 10 feet is per private property.
Right.
And where are you seeing the additional footage?
It's between the two planters, the trees. There are 2 rows.
We don't
of
need to
trees.
show it to DOT, but what I'm telling you, and Christine's
So
right,
the
is
pedestrian clear path is that 10 feet?
It's 5 and 8. It's 13 feet.
Hey, you gotta show me where this is on this plan, because that says 15, you know.
This is, where is it? Not here.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't, there's another one, no?
No.
Yeah. I have one.
What's on?
What's happening? I saw another one.
Do you have, is there another one electronically? That's not.
Okay, so what they are saying is that between those 2 rows of trees, there is 8 feet.
yes.
So they need to add to that. Yeah. So this is where the sidewalk cafe is going to be, and then there is another 8 feet on the other side.
But measured from the pits or the?
Yeah, from pits to pit.
From the pits,
So
they're
it's-
like one continuous pit lane,
So what
it's like a
you have
lane.
is like from the wall, you have 5 feet, which is the cafe.
Yeah.
Then you have 5 feet of sidewalk,
Yes,
okay? Then you have the tree pit.
yes,
And then you have 8 feet to the
Yes.
next tree pit. So if
Yes.
you take 5 and 8, you have 13 feet of
Even though there's a
space.
tree in the middle.
Right.
But there is 8 feet between
Yes.
the 2 tree pits.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And even more on the other side. And anyway, they have the zoning, which was specifically designed to address that situation. And
Yes.
has not been denied, has not been superseded by the sidewalk cafe general.
If you're okay with this, I'm okay with it.
I'm okay. I spent half an hour this afternoon trying to.
I mean, Christine, as usual, has it completely right, and you know, I've got another day add to that, she said it absolutely correctly.
Then the only concern I had, Max, is on page 7, where you said, if amplified sound is played inside, will doors and windows be closed? You said not applicable. What do you mean by that?
Well, the windows are not operable windows, so that's what we meant by that, is that the windows don't have the ability to open anyway.
Okay, can we just make it yes, so there's no ambiguity? If they're not operable, they can't be open.
They're closed
They're
off.
closed all the time.
Right.
Okay, okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any additional comments, questions? Anybody from the community now?
No, there's no one.
I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, but one other thing, Max, the other one we talked about umbrella height. Are you on the sidewalk cafe? Are you gonna use umbrellas in this one?
No, we're not.
Okay.
No, I'm going.
Or only.
Okay. A motion,
Motion.
a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, present? You're in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a.
Slow hand, very
Wait,
slow.
wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Opposed, abstaining, present, not eligible.
Was that
Okay.
Karen?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, item number 11, 727, 731, 8th Avenue. Jack's all day, 46. So the hours of operation are not 24 hours, 8 AM to 1 AM, 7 days a week.
Hey, let's move it better.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Rosa, you turned your camera off.
I did for 1 second. I looked at my hair, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Good evening. So this is a new application. You read most of it already. It's 75% occupancy. They're closing at 1 o'clock in the morning. This applicant they have multiple restaurants in the area already, known as the Freedmans. They're the same owners.
You didn't circle any music, Rosa. Are they gonna have any music?
Yes, they are gonna have music. They're gonna have the background music.
Just background, okay.
Let me see. Let me just make sure. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, background, because she didn't check it.
And you're
you know
aware, Rose, no matter
Huh?
what, however we describe the music, if you could hear it outside, the windows have to be
No, I
closed.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
if
know
you
you
go
don't-
to the multiple floors on the next page, you'll have the music as background.
Okay,
And the prior operator here was open until 2 AM.
yeah, Christine,
Stole my closure. So, you answered that, or the applicant answered that they will use a storm enclosure during the colder season. Oh,
Mhm.
in compliance with an NYC guideline, so you understand the 18 inches, right?
Yes, yeah, they're
Okay.
extremely
make sure
experienced operators. They've been around for a
Should they
while.
understand that so that they don't waste any money on a big
Yeah.
one?
So Rose, I'm just gonna add our usual stip, any storm enclosure shall extend no further than
Right.
18 inches
property.
from
Okay.
the building facade.
Okay,
Okay.
additional comments, questions? Anybody from the community now?
Okay, motion.
Okay, all in favor? Present not eligible, abstaining, against?
What is that?
Okay, thank you, Rosa.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
You too. Item number 12. 265 8th Avenue. 23 Pier Incorporated.
Okay.
This is at 11 AM to 12 AM, 7 days a week.
Okay, too.
There's James?
Stole my closure.
James, can you unmute your?
There. Actively.
But you don't want
They've been chatting for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely have us muted. I think we should go on the next one.
Okay, well, there's, I think you're right.
Oh, wait, do we look? James?
James, what, guys,
They don't,
guys.
they're muted. No, they have us muted.
Okay, forget it then. Next one. Okay, item number 13, 410, 10th Avenue, also known as
They are having a good time.
West 34th Street.
We've been talking about this earlier.
Right.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hi there.
Hi.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Amazing. My name is Adriana Golovati here from Helbrun and Levy, representing entity to be formed by Satoro. Satoro, the owner, is here as well. We are here tonight for a full liquor license and a premise that has already been previously licensed, located at 410 10th Avenue. There's also an AKA address. It's also known by 460 West 34th Street. So it's right on that corner between of 34th and 10th Ave. This concept will be a fine dining full service Japanese restaurant. Satoro also has been previously licensed and is currently licensed with 2 other locations within Manhattan 5 district, and that is the gallery and the hall, which Satoro can speak more of as well. This establishment will have background music only. It will close by midnight every single night. There's no outdoor seating. It's your standard occupancy of 74 persons. There's going to be 26 seats at tables and 9 bar stools at the bar. Also in the diagram, you'll see that it looks like there's 1 bar and then there's counter seating where food will be prepared there as well. Although the area is not heavily residential, the applicant really did a great job with going out and talking to the residential neighbors that are within a 2 to 3 block radius and received a lot of support. They also reached out to all the block associations provided by the board and received no opposition. And yeah, the building itself is a commercial building. There's no residence within the building itself. And Satoro, if you would like to introduce yourself and speak more to the concept, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, hi everybody, nice to meet you. and my name is Satoru. As Adriana just mentioned, I'm already operating 2 Japanese restaurants on the 20th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, and this new restaurant will be our 3rd restaurant with the Michelin-starred chef Hiroki Odo, and this restaurant will be our flagship restaurant of our company, and try to open the business middle of 2025.
So there's quite a bit of build out that will happen to the space. It's currently renovations are about to start.
Thank you, Christine.
Yeah. You probably heard about the storm closure and the fact that the storm closure cannot be deeper than 18 inches.
Correct. So it's not there now. The applicant doesn't have anything there now, but they would like the opportunity and the flexibility to have it in the future. And once that is permitted, once the weather gets colder, it will be in compliance with all state and city regulations.
So we'll add our usual stipulation that it won't extend any further than 18 inches from the building facade. Okay?
Correct. Correct.
Thank you.
Any additional questions, comments?
Can I just make a quick comment?
Quick, sure.
Sorry, so sorry. If you look at the petition for this one, did you see this? Like this is a very different looking petition than we normally see. And I'm just noting it because sometimes we get folks filling out petitions with signatures that don't look like that don't maybe look as organized or focused as this one. So maybe we should just use this as a model or an example that things we might look for in the future.
Okay.
Just throwing it out.
Thank you.
It's internal.
Shout out to everyone the signatures.
Okay.
We occasionally have nice things to say.
If they're not all.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the petition one.
Is there anybody within that?
No, there's no one.
Okay, and be aware of the comments on the petition.
Yeah.
That Greg just made.
Thumbs up.
Okay, all, we have, yes, we do? Okay, all in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, question not eligible? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have
Thank
a
you
great
very
rest of
much.
your evening.
Okay, item number 14.
Have a good night.
444 9th Avenue. West Side Pizzoli.
Hi, good evening, everybody. How are you? I'm Alex Poffenbach. I'm Director of Development with Quality Branded. I've got Rodrigo here with me. He's the VP of Operations. I'm sure you know us. We have another restaurant in the Brookfield project in the Pendry Hotel as well called Zuzu's. And we just opened Bad Roman last year in the Time Warner or former Time Warner Center. So we've had a really great time with that too. Family-owned restaurant group, been around for 40 years. So we are planning to open another restaurant in the same center this fall across the hall. And here we're here for 441 9th Avenue in the Peloton headquarters building on the corner of 34th and 9th. We're planning a high-end, high-design restaurant. It's going to be, you know, an all-day business lunch, family brunch, post-theater dinner. We're pulling from a variety of cuisines for this concept. We've submitted a sample menu in the packet, and that's representative of the style of food we anticipate. We're going to open from 11 a.m. to midnight, Sunday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. Thursday through Saturday. We're expecting to have 62 tables inside with about 214 seats and 2 bars with 23 seats. Background music only, and let me know if you have any specific questions.
I have a question.
Christine?
So in Zuzu, is that background music only?
Yes, Zuzu's is background music.
So in Zuzu, it's impossible to hear each other. It's the background music is, you can hear it, it's unbelievable. So it's a new definition of background.
So with Zuzu, to speak to Zuzu specifically, I was very involved in that opening, and with the high ceilings and the tile and the wood, it just gets amplified in there. This project has lower ceilings, and we've learned our lesson, I think, with how loud Zuzu's is. So I think it'll be much more manageable. And if you've been to Bad Roman, with the lower ceilings, it's better sound dampening as well, and we're working on that in the new restaurant in Columbus Circle also.
It's still loud in Bad Roman. It's not as loud, but it's loud.
It's lively background music.
We're all folks, so maybe we can different steps.
Well, I mean,
I agree, Bad Roman is very loud.
right, and then the music on the balcony up there is unbelievable too. Everything is so loud.
So Alex, I'm correct that this application doesn't extend to the Sidewalk Cafe. You're gonna go to DOT and then.
Yeah, exactly. We want to leave it open. We're not even sure if we will end up pursuing it, but we wanted to keep those options open.
We're not voting on it tonight.
Yeah. I'll add that says this application doesn't cover any outdoor space.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Any additional, yes?
I just have one question, and I think it's just for the sake of the picture, but the public notice on the door looks like it's facing in.
Yeah, it's just the way I thought that too when he sent me the photo, but it just looks like the way he took the photo, it's like he's reflected in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I went by and looked at it. It's a strange photo. But I agree.
Thank you.
Okay,
Totally.
any additional comments, questions? Anybody from the community, Nelly?
No, there's no one.
Okay, do we have a
Motion to approve.
and a second? All those in favor?
Good luck.
All right.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstained?
Turn down the music for Christ's
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Okay,
441.
what happened to Joe? He disappeared.
No.
Okay, item number 15, 615 9th Avenue.
615, what?
Yeah. 615 9th Avenue. Indigo Kitchen. 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week.
Hi, my name is Ellen from ABC License, representing Indigo Kitchen Inc. Address is 615 9th Avenue between 43rd and 44th Street. Prior tenant was Crab Hero, according to the awning. The previous licensee was actually the prior tenant under Great Tasting 615 Inc. They had beer and wine before. We're applying for a full liquor here. Our days of operation will be open 7 days. From Sunday to Thursday, it will be 11 p.m. closure. On weekends only, on Friday and Saturday will be 1 a.m. We're asking for 1 a.m., but very likely he said he'll close on or before midnight. There are 9 tables, 26 seats. One bar. It's an existing bar at the rear right. He's gonna keep that bar, but no, with 5 stools. It's about, the measurement of the bar is about 15 feet. Any other questions? I'm here.
Yes, you didn't circle any music. Are you gonna have any kind of music, background music?
It's background music only, yes.
Okay, and then for the prior operator, Crab Hero, we asked them to stipulate that they wouldn't use there would be no use of the rear yard by patrons or staff, and that any doors to the rear yard would be used only in emergencies. Would you agree to those as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, additional comments, questions? Okay,
Nelly stepped up.
Yes.
Just asking him to raise their hand.
if anybody from the community is here, wants to make a comment, please raise your hand. Okay, don't see anybody,
Motion to approve.
and a second,
Okay.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining, okay. Item number 15.
Oh, he's looking, he's
I
looking.
know, I think we got James paying attention again.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess I'm.
Oh,
James Williams.
Okay, we are now going back.
We're still talking.
Wait, well, let's give him another try.
Yeah, here.
Okay, we're going back to item number 12. James, are you with us? We tried before, you didn't respond. We hope you can respond now. Item number 12, 265 8th Avenue.
James?
He's coming, he's coming. Ooh. Unmute.
You have to find the button.
Hello?
We're waiting.
This is all right.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
He doesn't know what he's
Yeah,
here
they've
anymore.
been muted, so they can't hear us.
Can you hear us?
Because they forgot they muted us a while ago.
James, can you hear us?
Yes, hello?
Yes.
Okay, it's your turn. You take over. Go ahead.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, list
Okay, let's go.
list upgrade. And they already got building one license. They just want to upgrade to the full liquor, and everything keep the same. So yeah, so we are here to glad to answer any question. Yeah.
Okay, so James, on your prior application, you said you wouldn't use a storm enclosure.
Right.
And now you say yes. Are you gonna have one of those, the plastic thing around the door?
So this is like the storm wind, like the
Yes. Yes.
冬天家吗？
No, we don't have.
They don't. No.
Okay.
Okay.
No storm enclosure.
Okay, and then you didn't answer the outdoor questions. There's no outdoor space, right?
你外边用吗？
No, we're not using all outside.
No outside dining. No.
No outdoor space. Okay.
Okay. Please don't repeat.
Okay, additional questions, comments?
No.
No?
No.
We're with him. No. Motion. Motion.
Now, you make ask everybody.
Oh, you have to ask. And there is a hand, right?
No, that's James.
Oh,
Anybody from the community now?
right.
Yes, we have one person.
And who's that person? Did you bring him over?
It's sort of like we have the Wizard of Oz back. We won't get a glass.
I don't think you know.
That's one of their hand
I think it's one of the right
It's the
hands.
same one. I think it's one.
Is there a person to bring over? No? Oh, Tweed.
Hi, Tweed.
We miss you, Tweed. Go ahead.
Where's Tweed?
Now, there she is. Go ahead, Tweed.
Oh, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Or it doesn't work.
No.
No, she's not muted.
But we can't hear you.
Is this better?
Yes.
Yes.
It is
Okay.
very good.
That's because I had my Zoom speakers on. Okay. External speakers. Okay. So I received two applications, one from the CCBA president. I'm representing as president of the Block Association, which is next door to this. We don't actually cover this particular location. But I received two applications, one that was attached in the agenda in CB4, one that was attached by the CCBA president. What she seemed to be a little bit more involved, where you actually see the layout. And this says that this used to be the Pho 2 location, right? Is it under a different name now?
Oh no, it's the same name. And
So it's still Pho 2? Because it says, I think it says it's under formally.
yeah, before is the pharmacy.
Yeah, before the
Before
pharmacy.
Before is pharmacy. He built up the restaurant, and okay, so they got to build one license. Now they want to upgrade.
Okay, I'm looking at what page is this? I'm looking at the first page. It says application type. It says what is the name of the address of the establishment. You said it's the Pho 2 and also Sushi Blossom. That's what's confusing.
That's, Tweed, those are the previous stipulations. Those are old.
Okay, so I'm not sure why the president forwarded this to me then, to the block associations then.
Those were the steps when they came before us for a beer and wine license, which they got.
Okay,
They're
because
new-
but
Now,
now
all they're trying to do now is get a full liquor license. But they
Okay.
already have a beer and wine license.
But why are they mentioning the pharmacy then? That's next to the Pho 2 location.
Why do they what?
They're mentioning the pharmacy. It used to be Chelsea Apothecary. Why are you mentioning that?
Because that's their old application.
Back when they first applied, there was nothing for the beer and wine, it was replacing Chelsea Apothecary. They've now been operating as Pier 23 with just a beer and wine license. So except that form goes back, the form you have goes back to July 2023, it's a year old.
So it's just still the Pho 2 layout. That
Yes, it's the
particular
same
small
layout.
hallway.
The only thing that's changing is going to full liquor for beer and wine.
Why isn't it in that direction?
Yeah, really, yeah.
But you didn't put it in
They
our-
put it in the wrong section.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Does
So,
that clarify?
well, if they can clarify how many tables and chairs are in there.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have that clear.
23 tables, 52 seats, one bar with 10 seats. Maximum capacity is 74.
Because if it's the Pho 2 location where I've been before, they only have at most 5 or 6 tables. They don't have 10.
This doesn't have anything to do with.
I think you got confused. So the PHO is his store too. He owned 2 stores there. The first one is for the barbecue place. Second one is him. Then they do have the Dunkin' Donuts, and then is for the PHO. Yeah, right. So I don't know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, Sally sent you the wrong one, Twee.
Okay. And so the one that's in the so for anything that has to do with upgrading, you're not going to see the layout again because that wasn't in the Dropbox link.
No, we have it.
We have.
We have the picture and it does reflect what the number they have given us.
Actually wrong. The
Yeah.
numbers are
It's
low.
it's only 11 pages what I have.
Yeah, I don't have an idea, right?
No, it doesn't have the pictures. It
On the
just,
second one, if you could click down.
Yeah, there's
two
the
of them.
second
If you
one.
keep going, it says that they have 52.
second one is.
52
Yeah.
seats.
okay. the
And then
second
if you
one.
look
Look at
down
that.
and it's 44 seats, they actually have.
Do
not disturb.
I don't know why Nelly, I don't know, what Nelly printed out doesn't have.
But there's not using this term.
They have 2 current applications online and 1 previous one.
Their one now is the Pier 23
Yeah,
one, right?
It's, yeah.
So if you go down to their seating
I saw it
chart,
now.
it doesn't match up to what their actual numbers are.
Yeah. So wait, there are
So
two.
they have
Nelly,
less. They have less than what they have in the,
Yes.
yeah, so they have less tables than what they have.
Is there I only have an 11-page thing. Are you saying there's a separate document?
There is,
I have 23 tables. You have that?
I have the 11 pager, which is.
11 pager has 23 tables.
23 tables.
Yeah.
Does that match up with the floor plan?
The number of seats is, they say 52, there's 44. I mean, it's less, but.
Yeah, 23 table, and then the seats, you have the banquettes, the thing, the long thing.
Right.
And that, all of that is seats. Right, so it's one part. Right.
All right, well, let's read, what's your question here?
It's not clear from it says James Wang, attorney. It's not clear from the 2 people talking what the location is, because yes, there did used to be a Dunkin' Donuts
The
location
location
here.
is 265.
I understand that. I can go to Apple Maps and see it. I can walk down there and see it, but the FA 2 is a small, narrow hallway and it's not
Phone
called.
two has nothing to do with this place.
No, let me make it clear. The
Okay.
PHO2 is his star. Right now, we are not talking about PH2.
Okay.
So the first, let me make sure that because the block, okay, first one is for the barbecue place. Then after the barbecue place is for his place, is for the the new one, the seafood place. So next one will be Dunkin' Donut. After the Dunkin' Donut will be PHO. You're talking about the PHO, yeah, PHO is a small place, that's true. Yes. But it's not, right now, where our application is for the seafood place. It's not for PHO. Well, I'm not asking for PHO upgrade.
Okay, so there's no, so this place is called Pier 23, correct?
Yes, right. Yeah.
Okay, what was it before? Because that's not listed in your application.
Is pharmacy, okay. You know, first application for the beer one, we already indicate this is pharmacy. So this is the upgrade application. Of course, this is wrong.
So Tui, what is your concern?
I walk by there, I don't see anything. So.
But let's assume you didn't have the right package. We're going to send you the right package between now and the full board. And then you can give us your concern, right?
That works.
Okay, but the history is, it was Chelsea Apothecary. In July 2023, they got a beer and wine license under Pier 23, and now they want a full liquor license. FO 2 has nothing to do with this.
Okay. But I've never seen Pier 23 operate. So this was all just licensing without any operational location, correct?
Well, just go over there and have a drink.
James, is it open, yeah?
No.
Is Pier 23 open?
No, I live right there.
I know they finished the construction. Right now they're doing the menu and they will open soon.
Maybe in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Not open yet.
1 or 2 weeks. Yeah, they will open.
That's the operative word.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions?
No, thank you.
No.
Anybody official from the community? Thank you, Twee.
That's okay, coming twice.
Any
Question now, I
Go
do.
ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, but so if they've never been open, they're under construction, they had a beer and wine, but they didn't operate with it?
Right.
Right.
And they're asking now for an upgrade before they've ever operated.
Right.
The full liquor license.
Okay.
Which is not uncommon, because it has to do with the whole temporary permit.
Right, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
Tweety, do you understand? Did she leave?
Just let us move on.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
Got it on the record.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Opposed, absent.
I was going to ask that question.
Person not eligible. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 16,
On
68997.
Yeah.
Hello again, hi. I'm Kasia INC, 689 9th Avenue between 47th and 48th Street. Prior tenant was AA Jing, was an Asian restaurant with a full liquor license. And we're applying for a full liquor license here. Nora already operates a restaurant nearby since 2013. It's another full liquor license. We're asking for it from Sunday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to midnight.
I knew it.
I'm sorry.
You're breaking up, Sam.
Okay, I thought you were asking questions. I'm sorry. Friday and Saturday will be we're asking for 2 a.m. closure. We'll have background music. I'm sorry, I did not circle that background music again. It's gonna be only background music, no outdoor dining. We have a bar, 6 by 14 by 5 feet. It's like a L shape, right near the entrance to the left. 19 tables and 64 seats, 74 capacity max. We have 2 restrooms, ADA compliant. Any questions?
So could you tell me those hours again of operation?
Yeah, what is it?
Sunday through Thursday?
Will be 12 a.m. closure.
Okay. And then
And on Friday and Saturday, we're asking for 2 a.m.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions, comments?
Storm inclusion, no.
No.
No storm enclosure, they won't have
All
storm.
right.
Who was the other guy?
Nellie, anybody from the community?
No, there's no one.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
Motion,
Second.
And all in favor?
we are getting there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, we are.
Now, wait. You will all be grateful to hear that Christine and I spent hours on these in the past week. All of the original submissions were wrong. They have all submitted revised floor plans that we are happy with. And we boiled it down to just a couple of issues for you folks.
And when Frank, I want to make a.
Thank you.
When Frank says originally we're wrong, that means DOT approved, they don't know what to.
Right. Thank you very much.
That's what I say for the record, off the record, I can say something else.
Oh, and Bert came to visit.
Oh, yeah, Bert
and-
did one too, yeah.
And
Sorry.
Alan came
Alan
to
and I-
visit. I mean, this is
You're on
like
the
a
record.
whole job.
It's very grateful to me. Very grateful to me. Thank you all.
Okay, so let's move on.
Okay,
Thank
so
Okay.
item number 17,
8510,
85 10th Avenue.
we're good.
Okay, so, I believe Jeff Katz, the operator's here. They, very considerably took all the suggestions Christine and I had and reduced the, size of the cafe significantly, to allow the right clearance. We are happy with the revised floor plan. Jeff, the only thing we don't seem to have is the STIP form. Nellie can't seem to find it. Did you fill that out again?
Yeah, me and Nelly spoke today. I'm gonna get that to you guys tomorrow. It sounds like it was just a.
But you're agreeing to like close at 10 and 11 outside and.
Yeah, we
Right.
close at 10 or 11 inside too.
Okay, all right.
Very good. Motion.
And do you have any questions? No?
Is that a question, Tina, or is that a rush ahead?
Okay, anyone from the community, Nelly?
No.
Okay,
Okay. Anybody have a motion?
Motion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Jeff.
See you
Okay,
soon.
item number 18, which is 626 10th Avenue, moving north.
So something we have a regard.
okay, so this is another one, where we got the original plans did not allow clearance from the tree pits. And they have done revised plans that gives us the necessary 8 feet from the tree pits to the perimeter of the sidewalk cafe.
Can we get a stip to order the?
Yeah, so let's just a couple things, Mike. I went by there today and I know they don't have the current layout, but the cafe they're using now is only 7.5 feet clearance, so make sure they realize when they, put in the new plans, they need another 6 inches.
Okay, that's not a problem. I'll have them bring it in now anyway.
Yeah, and the other thing is they have a lot of stuff out there, potted plants.
Yeah.
All of that has to be within the perimeter of the cafe.
All
At
right,
the
I'll
moment,
talk. Yeah, he loves his plants. He wanted to put the trees back too. He was trying to get them put back, and
I don't, wait, I'm talking.
he's
wait,
hoping
Mike,
you'll be successful. But I'll talk
Like,
to him about.
we're talking about 2 different things. I'm saying surrounding the sidewalk cafe, he has like potted plants and other decor things. All of that cannot be in the clear path. It all has to be in the in the perimeter of the cafe. And at the moment, it's not, okay?
And
Yes,
please
we'll
plant
bring those in.
any trees you want.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna repeat all the additional steps you agreed to about the rear yard. On this form, just so we're clear, the ones you agreed to when you first came to us.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, you already accepted that, okay. So the only issue that remains is these tree pits have been bricked over and don't have trees. So Mike, I think you told me your client actually wanted trees?
Yes, he's tried to get them put back.
Okay,
was
wait,
hoping
so
that-
we'll send you
But-
the information of who you talked to in order to do that. Okay,
I'm sorry?
We'll send you the information of whom to talk to in order to get it done.
Okay. And I was talking to Jamal, the reason the pits were bricked over is because somebody tripped in them.
Yeah.
And both he and the landlord there's a lawsuit against them right now for it. So
Okay.
basically flattened it out. If they were trying to hide it, they'd put concrete on it, but I think that's pretty obvious.
Right, but so to avoid that, if you go around the corner on 44th Street, you see they have all these nice metal guards around the tree pits. You could do something like that if you like.
Okay.
Okay, additional comments, questions, anybody from the community now?
No, there's no one.
Okay.
Okay, motion,
Yes.
Second.
all in favor, opposed, present not eligible, abstaining. Okay,
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
our last item on the agenda, item number 19, 773, 10th Avenue, going a little further north.
Okay, here again, the measurements were off. And one of the weirdest things, there were two tree pits, but they're actually not in the same place in the sidewalk. One is a foot closer to the sidewalk cafe than the other one, which shows that you really gotta like measure everything if you wanna do this rigorously. But anyway, they have readjusted the sidewalk cafe. There are new plans that Christine and I are happy with. I think we had a question about the roadway though. They want both the sidewalk cafe and roadway done.
Yeah, so the roadway is an issue because the bike lane, there's a bike lane along that curve. And the bike lane is not finished. So missing some paint. And the buffer is missing. And so, you know, we don't know, we are not the engineers, we don't know where the painting and the whole stuff is going to happen. So I think what we could do is say we approve subject to the bike lane being finished.
Hi, Christine. Can I say a few things?
Sure.
So thank you for having me here tonight. So I agree with you. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the bike lane. I was speaking to Frank earlier today. I think that I'll just repeat the same thing. We can assume, I guess, and this can be approved, down the line if that's what it needs to be. But whether or not they expand the width of the bike lane, there's no reason why the buffer zone and that roadway will shrink in width. So what will suffer eventually will be the traffic lanes. If the bike lane doubles in width, the buffer will remain the same. It'll all just get shifted over. In which case, the plans I think will be relevant, with the only change here being the width of the bike lane itself.
Well, Stephen, I sent your drawing and the pictures to DOT, and I said, you guys need to tell me what to do. Okay, because we don't know what they want to do, whether there's a timeline, etc. So again, if we say we approve subject to DOT making a determination and the painting of it's the best we can do as a committee, because
Great.
we don't have all the cards to make the decision, so that we approve subject to something, and I think we should do that, because then, we are covered, you are covered, and if DOT comes back and say, put it in, I'm saying, fine, you put it in.
I'm not opposed to that whatsoever, Christine. I think it's very, very fair and pragmatic. And the actual roadway system is movable as it should be, so it doesn't make a difference. Even if we were to put it now, let's say, and the DOT says, you know what, we're going to be expanding the bike lane, we can just remove it if that's okay. And
well, I don't know if they want to, if they have their team coming in and they don't want to have notification, etc. I think it's better to let them give us an advice. And by the way, that puts a little pressure on them to finish the thing, right? And so
in theory, they might get back to it in 15 months from now. Who knows? And so, in which case, we can potentially lose out on valuable opportunity. I'm okay either way. I would, naturally, it's my requirement as a business owner to push. And so I will respectfully push for the opportunity to have that roadway dining. I have a lot of manpower on my staff. I can have that removed in a day's notice if I needed to. I've got 20 carpenters on my staff, so I can have that removed within a day's notice.
All right, and that's fine. I mean, we'll just make that comment.
Just send me the language you want.
Yeah, we just make that comment and then we can send it to Eric Butcher. You can talk to Eric Butcher and say, when can I set up my shop, you know?
Sounds good.
Okay, Stefan, just one technical question. On the new skip form you gave in, I think the numbers are a little messed up on page 2 for the capacity.
Okay.
Your old form, because all you have is 68 seats, which I don't think is right. So I think you mean you have maximum occupancy of 68, right?
On the inside, I think that's our maximum occupancy.
Well, your prior skip form from a year ago said 68 maximum capacity, 12 tables, 58 seats. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Or you want to let us know tomorrow?
I'm sorry. I think I maybe included the bar in that capacity. So yeah.
Well, no, you know what your prior form had 12 tables, 58 seats, 1 bar with 10 seats at the bar.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that right?
Yeah, I made a mistake there. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna change that on page 2 of your current
And
form.
did he fill out our questioning?
Yeah, that's right there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you filled it out.
Very good.
So Frank, these are the prior steps you're referring to.
The prior skips had numbers, the new ones did not.
I don't have the new ones.
So they might have gotten into the Dropbox late. All of this was coming in late.
And your closing hours?
They're not even in now.
You mean
says 7 hours
closing
to go.
hours of the outdoor?
Yeah.
Our 10 and 11, they
10 and
agreed,
11.
they agreed for
So I
both
want
of
to
them.
make sure you approve.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they filled out that part.
All right, let's.
Any
move
additional
forward.
comments, questions? Anybody from the community? Do I hear a motion? All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed, present not eligible, abstaining.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and 8:57.
Guys, if you all rush right now, you can probably grab some hummus and some nice hot bread at front of
Except we're down at 33rd Street, unfortunately.
Listen, I think if you run fast enough, I'll keep the doors open for you.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
So as in previous years, I will be the storm enclosure.
Storm enclosure.
Christine,
I used to be the bike.
And somebody needs to learn the.
Christine, your epitaph is gonna say